Everybody, we're in a bit of a rush here. Mikaela has sprung a purchase on us. She's bought a new pendant light for her dining table.
Yeah.
Please describe. I can put a picture up when we've done it, but why did you choose this pendant?
Well, the one I originally loved, which I just showed you,
yes.
this was this like replica designer one that I've always loved, and everyone ripped me a new one. When I put photos up on my like personal Insta for stories and I was like, oh, does everyone love this? This is what, and everyone's like, no, absolutely not.
Wrong account. You should, is this for the podcast?
Literally like I think it was like close to 50-50 split of like, yeah, love it. And like, oh, yuck, hate it, reselect. And like the people who said no
were the ones that mattered.
Yeah.
Damn.
A little bit. So I found one. Just from Beacon.
Just from Beacon, our good friends at Beacon Lighting.
Just from Beacon, you know. And it's like a nice version.
Oh, I don't mind that.
See? Do you like it better than the original one that I like?
I don't know if I like it better than that. I think the other one's probably still my preference.
Thank you.
What's the cost implication between the two? Like, is it like, you don't have to say numbers, but like, is the other one like much more?
This is double.
That's double compared to the one you like.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. The people want what the people want.
Right.
But at the same time, is it for you?
I just know that Brock would like this one more.
Like this one more? Okay.
Yeah. And he was the one on the 50% hate.
Okay, sure.
So he kind of has a say in
50% home ownership. That's fair enough. Blah, 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 blah. Well.
But yeah.
What
do you think?
I actually, listen, I like both. I see the vision of the original one.
Thank you.
But I think this is a good compromise.
Thank you.
And I think compromise is something that we didn't mention in the last episode, but it's something that you don't particularly do well. So it's good to see a little bit of growth on your end. I think I do compromise well. I think that's one of the other reasons why I'm a successful designer.
I feel like I don't compromise, and that's why
Did you just move the microphone on your own?
I did.
Oh my
Progress.
Goodness. Everybody, look how like pearly white our like teeth and how beautiful our eyes look with the beautiful ring lighting that's going on.
Back on that. Hold on. So you said
you're get away with that one.
No, you said you're a good designer because you.
I'm an empath.
No, because you compromise. I feel like I'm a good designer because I don't.
Oh my goodness, and that's why together. Do I have it in? Nope. I've got this one. New. I need to. I was meant to swap that out for the beat. I knew you would do that. To me.
We didn't actually officially say hi. This is a whole new week, kids.
Yeah, new week. We're back. We're gonna throw in some more questions about it. Oh, here we go. We're wearing the same outfit. So I probably should have changed. Bambi's back.
Hi, guys.
Bambi and Flower.
Welcome back to the podcast. Another episode here with your lovely co-host.
Me? Hi. I checked the camera this time before I started, so I'm in frame. That's pretty exciting for me.
This guy, Lockie, and OG.
The OGMG.
OGMG.
That's your rap name.
Ooh.
Been running the streets as OGMG.
You could rap.
I definitely can't. I'm as white as they come. Listen,
Eminem. Hello.
It's a good point, but I think he maybe has different life experiences than I do. If you ever want to...
Please rap about architecture and how tough it is.
No, it's definitely not going to happen. But the only time I've ever been close to a rapping event was at the Sanford pub on karaoke night with a couple of my friends. And I'm very glad I bailed out at the last end because I think if I had done Gold Digger with the rest of them, it would not have gone down well. Having said that, though, after Gold Digger was done and it kind of bombed, my friend Sam got up and in front of all the 40-year-olds in the crowd did Ignition Remix. And my goodness, they loved him.
R. Kelly, right?
He's problematic personality. But
do you know he got sentenced?
He did.
20 years?
I think
25.
so, 20 to 30 years, and then he's got more coming on top of that.
Look how good.
Yeah, it's how good for Robert. How good for Robert Kelly.
That's our childhood.
That's us.
Is that his real name, Robert?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, Oh, Kelly.
I know. Listen,
There you
what
go.
a great way to introduce
Yeah,
another
wow.
new week. I won't
Wow.
bother asking how you are because we've already dropped the big news last week unless I had to
did.
cut it out because
We
something
did.
went very wrong during the negotiations.
This week was so painful.
It was horrible. I think this
Oh.
might be the week before your birthday because we've got this one. Yeah, it will be.
How good.
Actually, your birthday's on a Monday, no?
Yes.
Happy birthday, Mikaela.
Thanks, guys.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, future birthday day. Except, I don't know. Is this your first? I think this is my first birthday on the potty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that means you're not actually up to scratch with how my birthday works. So it's not actually a
It's a
birthday.
month.
It's a month. So from the
It's
first
the same thing as Caitlin. Caitlin's
Yeah.
got the entirety of July. I didn't realize
Yeah,
I'm losing
see,
July and August.
Usually I take a month and it's usually like August, obviously. But I'm kind of experimenting the last few years because I feel like
If you say you're going to take February, I'm going to lose my mind.
No. I don't take a different random month.
Hang on, everybody, she's overacting right now. She's building up something
No,
good.
I just take because my birthday's on the 8th of August. 8th of the 8th, good number, by the way. So now I'm thinking instead of just like 1st of August to the end of August, maybe I'll do the 8th to the 8th of September.
Can I be honest with you?
Like then I get a
that
month.
works because Caitlin's the 7th of July. So she's got the 7th of July to the 7th of August. So then you're the next day.
You know what? All these women in your life just making shit happen.
And then I've got the 3rd of February to the 3rd of March. So mine ends on 3/3. How good is this? It's
8th, 8th.
8/8,
7th,
7/7, and then I kind of have to cheat to get 3/3 because I'm 3/2 or whatever.
Ugh. It's okay. It's okay. But you're the second.
I am.
You're the youngest, aren't you?
Yeah, I am by 20 minutes.
20 minutes, not even.
20 minutes. But if I'd been born,
That's a lot younger.
I think, and my mum hit me up on Instagram if I get this wrong, but I think if I'd been born like half an hour or so later, I would have been born
different
on
day?
the 3rd. So I would
Surely,
have been an
is there
identical.
twins?
I would have been an identical twin with with their separate birthday.
Oh, surely that has to happen.
I think so.
There'd be a fair few twins or triplets or multiples out there that have different birthdays.
Oh, you hear of
How
ones
sick
that are
would that
born
be?
just before New Year's and the other one comes out after.
Different
so it's different years. Pretty easy to share.
That's cool.
That is pretty cool,
I
isn't
do
it?
like that. I'm manifesting twins in my future.
Are we?
Yeah, I want twins.
I think
Really want
Caitlin
twins.
would ideally like twins because her ideal number is 2 babies and that's it.
Mm.
I'm a big
Just
family kind of
twins?
guy.
You're in the multiple category. You're like, I wouldn't say no to 5.
I have a feeling that my only chance for a big family is one up front and then twins
Oh.
or triplets out the gate.
But then there's like, you're done. Like, I feel like if Caitlin had twins, she'd be like, okay, I'm done.
Oh, you reckon one at a time's the way to roll?
Because then you have more, like, it's just, baby, it's just one more. It's just one
Yeah.
more.
Oh my
Where,
goodness.
like, twins or
Caitlin,
multiples,
don't
you're like,
listen to
oh
this.
my God, I'm not doing that again.
That's what my mum was like. I
Yeah,
think they
we're
wanted a
all
big
done.
family and she
We're
was
all
like,
done.
you've ruined my life.
You're done.
This is so much. This isn't what we planned at
And
all.
especially, my hat goes off to not only, like, multiples or twin mums, like, parents, dads, mums, wild, good on you. But first off the bat as well, like, to go from no kids to twins or multiples, like, whoa.
0 to 100 real quick.
Whoa, that would be so much. Hat off to you guys. Hat off
Yeah.
to your mum.
Hat off to Lyneth. Lyneth, this one's to you. Let's bring it in.
Boom.
Welcome to Grab the Trace, a home design podcast here to help you deliver your next project to its full potential. If you're looking for some tips and secrets whilst building a new home, renovating, or even just picking some window furnishings, stick around, pull up your plans, and let's grab the trace.
Think of the reels.
Think of the reels. Mikaela's going to put on lip gloss, but she said she wasn't going to do it
No,
because
how
she didn't
about-
want to get outed.
Yeah, the bloody ring one that you put up the other day. How
This-
rude.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this
Because you snipped out the fact that I like smacked my hand and you looked and you were like,
No.
oh, what'd you hit? And I was like, oh, and then I said that comment. So now it looks like I'm a psycho.
that I can't see you because you keep waving your big old rock in the way.
Yeah, see, no one sees this. You'll cut this too. So now I'll sound
Hey
like
everybody, welcome back for another week of the podcast. It's Lachlan and Mikaela here. We're definitely not talking about lip gloss anymore.
Okay.
Listen, let's pick up where we left
we
off.
need to,
We were
like,
really into it.
Snappy.
We did
So,
4 questions in like 50 minutes.
Yep.
So we've got a couple of big ones. And as we mentioned at the end of last episode, these are all revolving around
Renovations,
I guess.
experiences, new builds, and then I guess the first one, our last week's episode, would have been more like personal questions, where this one's a little bit more like, hey, what have we learned? What can we share with you guys? And I guess just put all of our, a decade worth of renovation knowledge in a few questions.
I'll be honest with you, I've done it like for 6 months.
Okay, well, we've done it for...
I did it for 6 months and then I did it... I've
years?
done... I guess if you count putting...
7 years deep.
I guess if you count putting like the clothesline up in the backyard, that's a renovation. Do you remember when listen, this is a tangent. Let's already get it going.
Oh, okay.
When I started at HAL...
Yeah.
You and Barry were like in the midst of your renovations.
Yeah.
And so like I'd listen to you guys like talk about renovating. I'm like, oh, I'm putting down like pavers, or I'm like, I'm putting something up. And you guys are like, that's not really renovating though. And I was like, wow, thank you so much for like shitting on me right now.
No, I always get so no babes. No. I always get I feel bad for all those people out there, especially like interior designers, architects, landscape art, or whoever it is, but someone with some sort of qualification, they're like, that's not actually a reno. Like, you don't actually have to knock down an entire house to classify it as a reno.
No.
Like, little projects are renovation projects, and I'm all here for it.
Or maybe you should go back and talk to yourself in the past, because you were quite rude to me. You were.
Not.
You guys were so mean to me. I was talking about
I was not. And is Barry ever rude in his entire life?
No, but you guys definitely dismissed me. You were like, okay, that's nice. Go back to like playing with your blocks. We're talking about like studs and stuff.
That's not true, because honestly, I don't even remember you. I don't. See?
First question, do you remember when you met your co-host? Yeah, I remember it
did.
vividly. I remember walking in on my first... This isn't one of the questions.
No.
All right, let's kick it off. I'll ask you the question this week first up.
Oh, can I ask one personal question? And we can add it to the list. Do you actually remember like first meeting me? Because I don't remember like my first interaction with you.
The first interaction was either on the day that I was hired... I had my interview, and then Liz, kind of one of the directors at HL, she kind of walked me down the old office and kind of like
long corridor,
pointed at everyone. It's like, this is the town planning pod. Say hi, Adam and Jesse and Tom, and they're like, hi.
Yep.
And then I kind of made my way down and met Cody and all that kind of stuff. And then I got to the end, and she's like, and this is our interior design department. We're looking to grow. And it's just Mikaela sitting there going,
I did not.
But I think the real first memory I have was the Monday following, when I actually started, where I was sitting at my desk not knowing what to do because no one told me what time to rock up. So I rocked up 15 minutes before anyone else did.
Did you have to do the whole I'll just like casually walk up and down the street to like...
Pretty much until Jared like pulled into the car park and like let me, Jared, one of the other directors, let me in.
Yep.
And then I remember sitting at my desk going like, oh my goodness, I don't know what's happening. Because when I started, Barry was on his honeymoon. Oh,
so
that's he wasn't there.
Yep,
so I was just there by myself. And I think it might have been Alan or someone was the first one who came in. Oh no, actually he comes in pretty late. It wasn't him. Probably Mackenzie or someone. But then
Fabian?
No, he was.
Macca would have.
But then what ended up happening was Cody was already in, and then you and him decided to walk over and said, "Would you like to come and have a coffee, or like make a coffee or something?" And I'm like, "I don't drink coffee," but I said, "But I'll come anyway." And like you guys went into the back room. Yeah. See?
Oh, see?
It's burned into my brain. Oh, I think I mentioned that in your like little going away speech or something. Yeah. It's a very fond memory.
Yep, I do remember.
Did you set me up to fail then? In case I said like, no, not really.
No, I was actually like, was that the first?
I think so.
And I think it was. And then, oh, what a great, aren't we lovely?
And that Cody and I. That was the 7th of May, I think.
We have a date.
Actually, you know what? It was literally the last day you were at HAL, that going away party. That was 5 years to the day.
Yep.
Gee whizzes.
Gee whiz, and look how far we've come.
I know, we're nearly a whole year of potty down.
I know.
We're coming up to our potty anniversary.
Yep.
I think that was maybe within a month of your birthday last year we started.
Yeah. Was it end of August?
I think so. Sorry, I just had like a whole bunch of air in my head, so I was like, really good for an audio.
In his head.
No, in my mouth. Oh, I don't
you
know.
said air in your head.
This is not going well. Just a really good thing to do in an audio format is just nod silently.
All right.
So-
I'm going to ask you
Okay, sure.
because I like going first.
Okay.
Well, asking you first. Okay. What is the biggest lesson you've learnt from your renovations?
So I guess the way I'll phrase this is if I could go back and reapproach Ipswich with one lesson, it's the order of doing things, I guess, in terms of I really, like we did the order correct in terms of demolition first, but we really should have got cracking on the bathrooms and like reframing and all that kind of stuff from day one. We shouldn't have been like, oh, we'll go room by room. So we'll paint the bedrooms this weekend. So I thought it was originally going to take like 3 to 4 months. It ended up taking just under 7.
Yeah.
But having said that, if I had gone in and got the bathroom like sorted from like day one and had it maybe done, like given myself a month and a half to get it sorted, I could have had the tiler in there waterproofing stuff while we were doing other aspects of the house.
Honestly, though, if your first renovation, you're already like just grilling yourself about timing. Like, if that's it, you could have been more efficient with the overlapping of trades. Like, if that's the worst thing to have happened, you obviously nailed the management.
Yeah.
Of the
I
reno.
mean, the budgeting side of things, the only reason we went, I think I mentioned this, I did my little vanity project. Yeah. I think the only reason we went over budget was because of scope creep, like things we wanted to do that weren't previously there or things we didn't anticipate
value
on.
up, so you got the value of that back anyway.
Oh my goodness,
so.
I found out how much the house next door sold for.
Yeah?
It sold for, so we ended up selling, I don't know if I've said this, we ended up selling Ipswich for $360. So we bought it for $245, put like 45 grand in it. So I think all in all, we walked away with about $50,000 profit, I guess. Tax time is coming. We'll find out what that means. But the house next door is the exact same type of house, but it was slab on ground.
Yeah.
A lot more modern inside, like plasterboard walls and stuff. Had some pretty decent issues with like the slab from, I mean, a bit of insider information there.
Oh, here we go. Did you tell the new owners?
No. But they ended up selling that for $375.
Okay.
But it came with like an entire like shed out the back with like a granny flat and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So
wow, a fully like self-sufficient.
all in all, I think we actually did pretty well for $360. Pretty
well
good.
Done.
Pretty good.
Well done.
Pretty good. So that's my main thing. It was just, it wasn't so much. I think we went all right with cost and everything. It's just the time it takes to do things.
And just like trade overlap
the only other thing is maybe I didn't quite anticipate how long the commute would take because we were out at Ipswich. It's 40 minutes each way. That really
surely longer from
flying
north side.
Right,
no. Like I'm not taking the
from
piss.
like the middle of like.
But it would take me 40 minutes to get to Ipswich.
But like because we're like it's out east, so we kind of just did a dog leg instead of having to go straight across. And we were on like the I don't know, Ipswich motorway or whatever for most of it. But yeah, it was. And losing that 2 hours every day.
Yeah, that makes a long day.
So I would really start at 4:35, drive there. Like there was a week where I took a week off work to go and be a builder for a week. My goodness, I was so tired. I should have just gone to work and paid someone to do it. I think that's it. And then also just knowing what I'm willing to do in the future now and what I'm willing to pay someone to do while I'm at work making money.
Yeah, which is actually more efficient anyway.
Oh my goodness. So what is your biggest lesson?
Oh, my biggest lesson. So I think the good thing about you kind of going first is you would have a very similar response to probably what Brock, my husband, would respond with. So when we're talking about renovations, obviously, these hands are desk hands.
Oh, watch out. The rock's back out, everybody.
No, my nails more.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
You're not a DIYer.
I'm not a DIYer and I have all these grand plans I can design. Can I actually do that physically? Like, no, I'm not one to be like, oh yeah, give me the power tools. Like, yes, I can use them with assistance.
Yep.
And someone telling me how and what to do. Like
puttying nail holes.
Oh, I'm the best TA, like best assistant you can ask for. But I make the sandwiches, I clean, I do all the prep shit that no one wants to do because that's my abilities. So when it comes to lessons that I've personally learned, yes, I can put out all the lessons to be learned from a full hardcore renovation perspective, but that's probably what Brock would answer with because he learned those lessons.
Yeah, you should actually use zinc nails instead of the galved.
Or like, overlapping with trades or the order of doing things from like demo to, and I definitely learnt that as well, but more from the sidelines. So personally, what I learnt was with design, and especially when you're renovating, it always comes down to budgets, like always. Yep. And regardless of what budget you have, I feel like when you're halfway through a reno or you're halfway through a room that you're doing, just that budget creep and that scope creep. Yeah. And you're like, oh, well, if I'm already doing this, like I might as well just do that. And, now that I see it in, I don't really like it. Like there's a cost implication to everything. If I don't like that color that I did, too bad. Like,
we'll get them next time, champ. Next house.
You're not ripping it out and redoing it. So for me, everything came down to that design and making sure that I loved and committed to every single choice I had. Because if I had any doubt, then imagine how much doubt I would give my husband or the trades. And they're like, if they're looking at me and I'm like, oh, do I want the tile laid like that? Or maybe try it horizontal. And no, you just have to commit. You have to know, but you've got to like stand by your choice. So in terms of lessons, in terms of not changing your mind, but again, like, I've seen so many times with other people's experiences when they're halfway through and they're like, oh, I'm so glad, in the 11th hour that I decided to like change that out, or I decided to do the tile in this lay, and again, yes, there is good choices to be made, but I'm one for like planning and making sure. And if, again, I keep coming back to do a mood board, do a flat lay, do you finish a schedule, everything, if you can do it digitally and see everything digitally, and if it works well together, if you do a flat lay, you see all the samples and it works well together, it's going to work in a larger scale. So try not to change your mind. Try to stick to the plan.
Stick to the plan.
Stick 100%. To the plan, and that will just stop listening to the little doubt.
Yeah. Or
and just commit.
I guess I think we even did mention this. Other people's thoughts or opinions, unless it's someone that you have, I guess, kind of directly asked for what their advice is, or you're paying someone for their advice. Like the amount of people will be like, that I would have hung it differently. It's like bugger off. Like seriously, just it doesn't. You do it at your house then with your shitty little downlights or whatever.
Yeah, and I know it's hard being an interior designer. So technically, if I've got my designer hat on, and if someone asks me for advice. Mm-hmm. I'll give them my professional opinion. It's not my personal opinion. Yep. I'll give them my professional opinion. I'll try and back it up with facts, and I'll give them samples but also I'm kind of on the fence of like the renovating hat when I'm like, don't ask. Like you run your own race. You do it your way. You choose it. Make sure you're comfortable with it, because it doesn't matter what the interior designer thinks. It doesn't matter what the plumber thinks. It doesn't matter what the joiner thinks. It's your house. And if you like it, roll with it. If you want to paint that rainbow house, you paint that rainbow house.
Just don't tell me about it.
But also,
there's a time and a place. I think literally we talked about this before. Where it's like you're building for you stuff everybody else. Just keep me out of it though. Like I don't want to see this.
But then like I also have a huge respect for trades.
Yeah.
Huge respect for like if the stone and again I think I talked about it in one of the episodes about the wash plane, like the drain plane for my sink. So I wanted like the little groove lines, like kind of like, what are they called?
Milled into the stone.
Milled. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Milled into the stone. I wanted these like drain lines, and then I got the stonemason to edge, and he educated me and said, "Oh, look, we can do that, but it's it's worse for the stone. It's a porous limestone. You're going to get chipping. You're going to get this. It's actually harder to keep clean if you do this wash plane design. It's a lot easier, blah, blah, blah." I was so grateful for that piece of advice, and that has now changed what I design and what I specify in the future. So, learn. That's it. Take as much information, absorb what you want. I know that's really not helpful. Commit.
I think literally that's it. It's back yourself and commit.
Sticking to the plan. And don't get halfway through a reno or halfway through a room and change your mind, because it's just the cost implications and the stress is just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Don't go into it without having it planned.
100%. I agree with that. I mean, we could just do a whole, maybe in the future we do another episode on just.
What's the 5 Ps? Preparation prevents
piss poor performance. Yeah,
preparation
prevents
piss poor performance.
That's it. The 5 Ps. Brought to you by Grab the Trash.
Is it only 4? Preparation prevents piss poor performance. 5.
I can't even say it at the moment.
Woo.
So, what are your 3 so to continue on, what are your 3 biggest successes from renovating?
Oh, 3 biggest successes.
Just off the top of your dome, just fire them out.
Wall color.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple. I love the wall color.
Yep.
Love the wall color I chose. Just FYI for anyone at home, it is ghosting. Yeah, just ghosting, full strength.
Yep.
Dulux ghosting. And to me, it's my favorite beige, grey, stone, neutral.
Bit of mood to it.
Yeah, I put it with greys. It can look cool. I put it with beiges. It can look warm. It's actually quite mauvey purple undertone base, but works so well. Mm-hmm. If anyone wants to have a little gazer at my second success is my Garon stone flooring.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I recommend it to anyone who will listen. I've got it in the fireplace as the heath. I've got it in all of my bathroom flooring. I've done it in like a random length. It's got like it's in a tumbled finish, meaning that it's got like a raw edge to it. It's got chipping. It's got movement. It's amazing to shower under because it actually like warms up the stone underfoot. It's like the perfect grip. It's the perfect color. Again, it's very similar to the ghosting in the sense of you put it with cool tones, it looks cool. You put it with warm tones, it looks warm. I love natural stone. And to have it as a flooring in your bathrooms, laundries, wet areas, it's just, I'm obsessed. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Third
would be my master suite layout.
Yeah. I think actually if you're a little bit clued in, someone may have at one stage put a floor plan up of at least the master ensuite side of that arrangement.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I
think it's bathroom 8 from our 4th post on Instagram.
Go back in the
maybe
catalog.
We'll throw it up with this one, a little bit of a throwback.
I'm happy to. I've actually even got floor plans of my just upper level.
I was going to say maybe we post like our little we can do a post each this week of
we always promise Insta
or even
posts.
Just our little like Reno recap thing.
Oh yeah,
like
true.
You can do your own one.
Yep.
I'll do mine. That's Sounds 2 good. Posts during the week. Easy
peasy. But yeah, I think to me having a little master suite or like a little private getaway, little oasis in my mind. Winner makes renovating hard work worth it.
I love that.
So yeah, definitely my 3 biggest successes: wall color, my stone flooring choice, and designing a master suite when we did the extension. Yeah. How about you?
Stunning.
What's your 3 biggest successes?
Okay, so the biggest.
Oh wait, no, I didn't ask you. What's your regret? Or no, was that?
No, I don't think we've done that one yet. No, because we've got. What have you?
What's the lesson you've learned?
The lesson was the planning. See, we're already over it. It's because I threw the order out of arrangement.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
So my
3 biggest successes.
My biggest successes, I would say, I nearly said all the power tools I convinced Caitlin to let me buy. I would say I really do like being hands-on with a lot of this stuff. So I feel like I've got a better appreciation for some of these things.
Yep.
And probably one of the things that I felt really cool about from a design point of view that then being able to execute it was the detail of using Axon cladding in the bathrooms to not tile surfaces.
Yep. We're also including like your house that you're living in as well because you've renovated
I've done
of that.
Bits and pieces, yeah. I think especially with that one, I think that ended up saving us maybe just under $1,000 in tiles, and then the tiler's quote would have been another $1,500 on top of that. So
wow,
for the cost
that's significant.
I think the Axon sheets themselves would have been like maybe $600 for the amount that we used, and then because I did Villa board and then did like a little skirting tile, I could then get the Axon sheet to be like flush with the tile.
Ooh, nice.
Which I actually got an Instagram ad the other day for where you're doing powder rooms or whatever, there's a company that sell like a skirting kind of profile thing where you can slide in your skirting tiles, and then there's like a little lip to put your plasterboard on top, so it is
it's
just
all
flush the whole way.
See, you know, this was like a little pet peeve of mine when I go into powder rooms and they paint the top of the tile.
Okay, there goes my second success at home after we repainted the house. It's not at all. But I did do that, and honestly, it looks way better than the shitty cut edge. I actually don't mind it.
Sure.
The second success, which I'll put up some photos, is in at my house at home.
I know this one. I'm so excited.
I've done the batten and board in the master bedroom.
Yeah.
Having said that, the second attempt I had at doing that in one of our spare bedrooms, I think it is. I'm so proud of it. It looks so
good.
And we're in the process of getting an electrician to put some kind of feature pendant lights. Oh, not pendant. What are they? Wall sconces.
Wall sconces?
Either side. So that way they're bedside table lights. And the one advantage of the room we did it in is it's the only bedroom that's actually got like northern facing windows for light. And during the day, it is so bright and beautiful in there.
Stop.
I love that to bits. The other easy answer would be like, the skylights, but that I feel like that was just something.
That is a raging success, I would say.
It is, but I don't feel like it's the thing that I'm most proud of. I guess like it's a
success though. It's not hard work and I slogged at it and like I get what you mean, and it's like, oh my God, that took me so long. Like I need a little bit of appreciation here, like picking a paint color. Like that wasn't a success, but to me it's like it does. I still love it.
It's a key part. Like I think if the house had just white walls, it wouldn't feel as warm and kind of. I think it just pairs well with like the flooring, and I don't know if you can see the flooring. Well, maybe we'll put a photo up. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
I think the only other success I would say was probably for Ipswich was taking our own medicine in terms of placement of lighting.
Yep.
I did try push very hard at the beginning for 4 downlights in the bedrooms. However, due to budget and like creep and everything, we went down to 2, but just making sure that they were placed well and truly outside the radius of the fan.
So no strobing?
No strobing. And I think in hindsight, the bedroom's just small enough to not warrant 4.
Yeah.
But the only thing that may change that, but I mean someone else that lives in there now, but it had very high ceilings, so I was just glad I ended up actually getting like slightly stronger LEDs. Like instead of like a 9 watt, we went like 11 because it was on sale.
Did it make a difference?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think it just offset it because there were like 2.9 meter ceilings, which was insane.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Because it kind of like had this weird thing. It was like raked up and then went flat.
And then flat. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think those are my 3 reno successes was taking my own, I guess the first one, what was that? That was the non-tiled surface option.
Yep, the axon cladding.
Then the batten and board at home,
feature
which
walls.
looks sick.
Yep.
And then probably I'd title the third one as taking my own medicine in terms of we practice what we preach.
Yep.
So that's my 3 successes, I would say.
Okay.
So now we've come to the drama.
Yeah,
the drama. Am I the drama? All right, Mikaela. What are your 3 biggest regrets of your renovation / build?
Okay. Number 1, and I've mentioned it before, and everyone's going to be like, yeah, we've heard it.
It's the bath spout.
No, I don't regret it. I'm sure I will in the future, but I don't regret it now. Is the black kitchen.
Okay.
I really do wish I did something different. I played it safe. In terms of like black or white, I wish I didn't do either. I wish I did, like I look back now from 5 years ago, the kitchens that I was designing, the houses that I was designing, and now looking at the kitchens that I design now, and I'm like,
I should have waited 5 years. I'm at my absolute prime now.
I should have waited like 5 years of experience, especially in like the luxury multi-res category. And I'm like,
how to distill that down to a more reasonable budget.
Yeah. And then I would have found that a challenge, like that a fun challenge to be like, okay, I want bougie kitchen.
Yep. Who can I sell my soul to?
How can I make this as efficient as possible but get the finishes that I want? Like I want the, timber veneer, and I want the custom framed oak legs, and I want like all this beautiful stone, or, this amazing stone masonry work, or like, the MIM design island with that beautiful flute and the angle. And like, I will never forget that island or that project because of that kitchen.
Yep.
I want that kitchen. I want that concept.
Yep.
it's beautiful. I love my little humble kitchen. But
humble.
It is humble. It is actually
seriously. I nearly swore then.
It's a small kitchen. It is.
I will say
small.
it is compact.
Thank you.
It is very
humble.
feature filled though.
Thank you.
If I think there would be many people out in the public that would look at your kitchen and think it's like a display home kitchen in terms of it's got all the bells and whistles to try and sell you upgrades and stuff. But that's your first regret. That's fine. That's fine. I think we have mentioned it before.
And like the bells and it wasn't even on my top successes, but the pit cooktop.
I was actually going to mention that as well. I was going to, for one of mine, I was like, my biggest regret was that I didn't put a Fisher and Paykel dish drawer in earlier.
But I have it now, so it's fine.
There's actually no regrets. It's just me putting in 3 more successes and like putting a negative spin on it.
Yeah, like I love the pit cooktop. I love the high raked ceilings. I love the limestone.
Yeah, I hate how difficult my beautiful high ceilings were to paint.
I love the nib wall in my kitchen.
Yeah, all right, we get it. You had a lot of successes, Mikaela.
The
pushback doors. All right, we get it. We get it.
Right.
Tell us more things that you stuffed up to make us feel better about ourselves that actually...
All right. My entire floor plan downstairs is my action.
Okay.
My proper biggest regret. And this is, again, practice what you preach. And I know all I've been saying is like, no, if you manage your time and if you design correctly from the get-go. But when we bought this house almost 5 years ago, in my mind, we'd just come from a very humble renovation where we did like room by room by room. We saved up, we did that room. We saved up, we did the next room. We saved up, we did the next room. So I still had that was the only experience that I had. I was pretty fresh and new in the interior design game as well. So I was like earning my stripes. And then we were doing that room by room. We took 2 years to do that. And then we bought this place. And the house was half the size of what I'd just come from. And what I came from was a very humble, small home as well. So this house was tiny. It was like 2 bedrooms, the smallest bathroom, a laundry that couldn't fit my washing machine in it, a kitchen that had no cupboards. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
And all I saw was, oh my gosh, how are we going to live here to then renovate per room? Because there's nowhere to live to then renovate. Like, there's not a spare room we can put all our tools in, and it was tight. So when we first moved in, we had 2 mortgages. We were trying to sell our original house. I was trying to renovate this house whilst having 2 mortgages, and we ended up just gutting it and just getting it to a point where we just need to move in.
Yep.
And just to note, we had 3 adults, me, my partner at the time, husband now, and then our friend Nick. So 3 adults living in a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, tiny little house. And again, we had that mentality of doing it room by room. So we made bedrooms, a bathroom, and a laundry work. And then we moved in. We had no kitchen, no living dining. It was just bare walls. We just got the floors done, and then that was a debacle. So we had to move out again, move all of our furniture, re-strip the floors because they buggered it up. Move all back in again. And then it was okay, just design a kitchen because I don't have one. So I did that kitchen.
Once again, the kitchen is now featured a second time, both in
stab.
Yeah, both in colour and the design.
Yeah, and then I think when we were in that process, there was never the idea of we're going to do this extension and this is the plan and this is exactly what we're going to get in 5 years' time. We never had that plan. It was I don't know, we might add an extension on the back of the kitchen, or we never thought we were going to go up 2 stories or so.
That's number 2.
Yeah, designing the whole ground floor plan, not knowing what the rest of the house was going to look like. So access to outside, our kitchen's a kind of thoroughfare space. There's definite things that I regret there. And then 3rd one is putting, it's not really a regret, but we put carpet in the media room, which I love that carpet. I love Cavalier Bremworth carpet. It's so luxurious. It's so soft. I'm a New South Wales girl. I know we've been through this before. Some people hate carpet.
A plug to me.
No, some people hate carpet. I love carpet. It just to me is warmth. 100% wool, obviously. Cavalier Bremworth, full loop. Love that. But we put it in our media room, and it's perfect for a media room. It's cozy, it's warm. And then we got a second dog in COVID, and it's now just like that's the space where we live. It's the main living space. It's where we spend most of our nights. It's where the dogs spend most of the time with us. And like now I wish I just did like a wool rug and had timber floorboards, because it would have been a lot easier for upkeep. Would it be cozy? No, probably not. But
no.
It'd be less
The
maintenance.
acoustics on the first 30-odd episodes would have been absolutely terrible with floorboards.
Sure.
Although with a big enough rug, it's working here.
Yeah, true. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Listen, food for thought. I think that's a regret.
Yeah.
But I'd maybe pitch it from the point of view of maybe planning for the unexpected, in terms of, as you were saying with the renovation, you don't know what's going to happen in the future. So I think one of the things you usually advocate for is hard wearing, easy to maintain surfaces. So maybe that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Are you ready for me to dig myself a grave?
Yeah, I can't wait actually. Okay. Let's go.
Number one, I tiled my outdoor area at my house myself, because we didn't pay for them to tile it, because they wanted... Oh, we should have just paid.
Regret. Lovely.
I'd never tiled before. I didn't know what I was doing. I put way too much glue under some of them. I didn't put enough glue under the others. The water barely drains off the thing, even though the fall was poured into the slab. And my goodness, we've got like a timber column post that's on like a metal spigot in one part of the outdoor area. Never look at how I tiled around that. It is like 3 tiles. Like I had to break a tile into like 3 bits to try and like get it in there with the glue. And then I tried to use like the aluminium like edging and stuff. New project for the thing. I'm tempted to actually buy some like crazy pave like tiles and tile over the top of it.
Whoa.
Because it's quite a cool... Here's the other thing as well. Our original indoor tile was like kind of a cool blue, which went with... I'm trying to remember what colour we had internally. It might have been like Lex Concorda or something. And so the house was very like cool for a house that got no northern light, so it felt like very cold. Mm-hmm. And so we did the same tile outdoors. And so now we've got a nice like timber hybrid kind of flooring in there with the skylights, with all the light. So it's all nice and warm inside with the new wall colour as well. Mm-hmm. And now the outdoor area just looks like absolute shit compared to it. So that's number one. Number two, we got a deck built in the back of our backyard.
Yep.
And we paid this guy to do it.
Yeah.
And it is the worst investment I've ever made because it is currently falling apart. He used like composite decking boards and stuff, but he used... I don't know how he fixed it. I think he literally just used like liquid nails for like the fascia bits or the risers.
No.
So I am now going to buy...
He didn't do it like a steel structure.
No, it's just timber sleepers, and I think he like just glued it to it. So some of them are starting to come off. So I probably this weekend, maybe not, probably not. Probably not next weekend either. I'm going to a Bucks party. I'm going to have to buy screws, screw it in, putty it, get a bit of this like composite decking board, take it to Bunnings, get them to get me a colour match pot so I can just do like little dabs on it. It's upsetting because the same guy did our front gate, like our side access gate and our little bin enclosure, and they are so good, except for the last like couple of weeks, the bin gate doors opening.
That good.
But like, I'll fix that. That's fine.
Okay.
And I've got the
Who
tools
is
now.
this guy?
Oh, don't worry about him.
Okay.
He's absolutely...
Is he a family friend or something?
Not anymore, he ain't.
Okay.
No, he absolutely stuffed up Caitlin's mum and dad's fence because their like boundary fence all rusted out.
Oh.
Put a timber one in, timber fence fell on the car. Really good times. So we don't use anymore.
Okay. Has been
blacklisted from the potty.
Does
so that's
he listen?
Probably. He's probably hoping for a shout out. So the third mistake or thing I regret is I think at Ipswich this is going to make me sound like a child. When things don't go well for me, I get very self-conscious and it is amplified when a lot of people just stare at you and they're like, oh, what's he going to do? Or something's not going right and I'm trying to figure out
Does
what it
it
is,
feel
and
like-
it's just the pressure of someone like looking over my shoulder, like watching or whatever.
Does it feel like they're all just like waiting for you to tell them what to do, or like
Not
you're
even that.
running the show, so
Oh,
you have to like?
I feel like I'm the only one doing any work and everyone's just kind of like sitting there being like, oh, well, what's happening now? And it got to a point where one day I maybe got a bit smart-assy and snipped back at Caitlin and I got put in timeout underneath the mango tree in the backyard.
Yeah.
And
You
I
just
think,
needed a little
to be
break.
honest with you, that's one of my regrets as well is
Just what, letting it get to you, or
just not taking a breath and going, it doesn't matter. Just
In the
go to
grand
Bunnings.
scheme of
Just go
things,
to
like-
Bunnings, lose 20 minutes and go and get another.
Yeah.
I think it was I was cutting trim around the window or something, or I was putting like the flooring wasn't level, so I was like packing it with something and it wasn't going well.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got a little bit too like involved and kind of like, this has to be done now. I just want to go home. Like this was towards the end of the renovation.
Yeah.
I snipped.
I know that feeling.
And Caitlin's a teacher by trade, so I felt so small when she kind of put her teacher voice on and told me to go and sit outside and to have a sip of my Fanta and bloody take a breath.
Look at you, you're still like,
yeah, I would say that's probably one of my regrets, and that's probably even another lesson is just be kind to yourself and be kind to others, because
actually, no, that's really true with renovating as well. I think people see, the block and, all of these shows or these people on Instagram, you see a 15-second reel.
It doesn't work like that.
And it doesn't. And you haven't seen the late nights. You haven't seen the whole weekends of waking up early, working all day. You're just covered in shit. And then you literally get up first thing Monday and you're at work at your desk.
You're so sore.
And you're so tired and so sore. And
trying to hold like plasterboard sheets above your head because no one else can lift it. And then they're trying to put the drill in, and every time they try to put the bit in, the screw bit falls off the end. And I'm just standing there shaking going, I hate my life. I hate my life.
I remember at the first reno at Hamilton Road, and we demoed this entire huge laundry and garage structure, and it was all double brick. So we had to move all of these double bricks by hand and put them in the skip. And then we had our whole backyard. Our whole backyard was covered in just brick pavers. So my job, because again, there's all these things that
you're not getting on the tool. You're not getting on the saws and stuff.
It wasted me doing something that if I can do it, it's better me doing it than wasting Brock's skills doing it. So if I can pick up bricks and put them in a bin, that's it. And oh God, I just remember weekends and weekends and weekends and days, and I'm a little person and my arms are pretty small. They're not guns. And honestly, just monotonous tasks, over and over of crouching down, picking it up.
It takes its toll.
Oh, and just I get frustrated. I think that's a big lesson maybe for female listeners or someone when you can watch your husband or trades or the boys and they can just pick it up and move it. And I'm I need someone to help me. I can't physically do that. That's frustrating when you're renovating, when you just watch someone that takes them 2 seconds, but it could take me 20 minutes to do the same task. That annoys me. Or even just topsoil to lay turf and shoveling and doing a wheelbarrow. I'm I physically can't pick that wheelbarrow up. I'm going to tip that.
Yep.
So it takes me 2 loads. So it takes me twice as long to get there. But so frustrating when you're renovating. But
I get you.
Lessons to be learned. Yeah.
Now, once again.
Okay.
We're getting longer in the episode.
We are.
I think we'll do this as 3 parts.
Oh, we see this every time.
No, but listen, the 3-parter, that's class. That's
it's
vintage.
Good.
That is vintage. Grab the trays.
Oh, right.
But I promise everybody
Let's grow the
that
scope.
we will. I promise everybody that we will be wearing different outfits when we do the next episode.
Yeah, it'll be a next weeker.
It'll be a next weeker for sure. So the final question.
Okay.
Because I think this is probably not a bad spot to end it on.
Yep.
What is your top recommend?
Yeah.
What is your top recommendation for someone starting a renovation or a build? And I think you might have already mentioned it before.
Yeah. Well, kind of I feel like I can build on it a little bit. My biggest recommendation, and I have noted it in previous posts, is yes, planning. And I know you can listen to a million design podcasts or designers telling you.
I thought you said design nerds. And I was like,
nerds.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, plan. Like, that's so easy to just put on paper and say plan. But do a mood board. Get those inspiration photos. Find out what you like. Find out what your partner likes or whoever you're doing the renovation with or the build with. Find out what you both like together that you can join on. And then do a finishes schedule. It doesn't have to be a full hardcore schedule like we've showed you, but some sort of document outlining the finishes and selections for a room, for each room that you're doing. Do a finishes schedule. Have a mood board. Have a look at the mood board. Have a look at the finishes. Do they look similar? Can you see some patterns? Can you see repeat of information? That's what we're looking for. And that is the start of a plan.
I love that.
What's your biggest recommendation or hint and tip to give to someone?
Yeah, I think
starting off.
Let me bring this one up close. Let's come
he's
in
getting
close
serious,
a little bit,
guys.
I think. Let me break it up into two ways.
Okay.
So I think if you're doing something to live in, or it's
Like
something that you're going to be
just flipping
in for a while. So the opposite of flipping. So if this is for personal use,
the forever home, shall we say?
There is absolutely no rush. Like, I mean, unless you're having like a baby and you need to like put a nursery together, but at the same time you've had 9 months, like plan better. As Mikaela said,
Be
her
better.
words, not mine, be better, lift. There's no rush to doing things.
Yeah.
And literally sometimes just sleep on it. Have a sleep on it or come back to it like a week or two later.
That's actually such good
as
advice.
as a compulsive impulse purchaser, the amount of things I've bought and whilst they're getting shipped to me, I'm like, nah, I don't really need that, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Or the amount of like just split decisions that I've made, and
they're always the worst decisions.
I remember during COVID, I wanted to buy so many things because I'm like, well, I'm at home, I might as well buy like a Nintendo Switch or whatever. But because they were all out of stock, I was like, oh, that's ridiculous. I can't get one. All right, I'll have to wait until 3 months. By the time the 3 months had come around, I forgot I even friggin' wanted the thing. So I'm glad I didn't impulse purchase that. So just take a beat, take a breath, talk it through. I guess it's kind of like a little bit of an extension of planning. Mm-hmm. And then with...
No, I think that actually works so well and coincides with the preparation and planning, not to change your mind, because every rash decision isn't a good decision.
Repainting the house sucked. It sucked so much. Because it's winter, I was lying down when I got home the other day. I was so tired. I just laid down under the skylights and I was like, shit, I can see the bits of right up the top where I didn't end up painting. And it's winter, and I said I would get back up there in winter and paint it because it's cold and like it's not a heat tunnel up there. So guess what I'm doing tomorrow, a Saturday? I'm going to go and buy a proper length ladder. Kayla doesn't know this yet. I'm going to buy a proper length ladder. I'm going to get up in there and I'm just going to finish it. I'm going to put it on a potty. I'll get it done.
Put it on our potty.
Oh, well, I've already listened to all the episodes, obviously.
What about this one?
All right, I guess I'll edit it. All right, fair enough. Good call. And then the converse, I guess, flipping for profit. On a tighter time frame is, if it's not your profession, like say you're not the person doing all the work, or like I was, I think I would have gotten a better return and I would have kept my sanity and still been able to claim all the benefits, because everything that you put into as an expense comes off what the ultimate profit would be. So that's fine. You're paying less tax on it or whatever. But it's almost like that idea of passive income in terms of like earning money while you sleep. Why not earn money or progress the project while you're not even there? Like if you're at your day job during the week, I could have had I'm just trying to think of some of the things. Like I could have paid someone to come and like do all the like we did the demolition, someone came in and did that, but then we kind of came and did the rest. I should have just paid him the $1,000 extra and he could have done the whole thing. That would have been like 2 weekends saved, half a month for $1,000. I would have taken that deal in a heartbeat.
Yeah, true. When you say it like that, when it's only weekends as well, and it's like half a month, but it's actually just 2 weekends.
If I'd paid a carpenter to straighten all the walls because they were horrendously out of balance, if I'd paid them to frame up all the stuff, I did all the drawings, all the framing plans were there. They could have done it. They might have taken 3 days. it took me 2.5 months to do that. Even all the ceiling framing and stuff, it would have been done so quick. And then guess what? When Caitlin's cousin, who was doing the plumbing, rocked up, I wouldn't have had to make like damn, I was so close to doing a good episode. Split second decisions, which meant that I like originally I wanted the mixers to be out from underneath the shower. I got it in the bathroom. In the ensuite, I just ran out of time. I had to put it underneath the shower head because I couldn't figure out, because I hadn't built the like little shelf wall. Hadn't built that yet because I didn't know what I was doing. I just bought a nail gun for the first time.
Woo.
And when I used Caitlin's cousin's one, because he thought I'd be able to do it in a day, when I shot it was like a Paz load one with the orange ones with the gas. Scared the shit out of me. I refused to do it.
Were the dogs there?
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, so the dogs came the entire time as well. That was also something maybe we shouldn't have done. They're not working dogs. We treated them like actual like people rather than dogs. They would have been fine. So I think that's it. It's trying to find ways to advance the plot while you're not the driving character.
I can 100% vouch. Again, I only gave you like my perspective. Again, I think Brock's value to this conversation would have been a lot higher than mine in terms of the renovation, but he definitely taught me the value of time.
Yeah.
Your time has a massive value, and especially when you are renovating and you have a full-time job, that's what's getting the renovation going is your income. So that has a value. You can't
sacrifice.
That has a value to
it.
And I think even reminding Brock of that halfway through the time, and I'm like, that's going to save us like 2 weeks. Like just get it done. Like and he was like, oh yeah, true. And then when you break it down by like, if you really want to get super narky and like put it into a full spreadsheet, get your hourly rate, figure out how much you earn, put that into how long it would take a trade to do it. And if it takes them 1/10 of the time, that's half a day's worth of work for you done. Like that's argument over. I think it's that. And then the only other thing I will pat myself on the back was there was a couple of weekends where we just took a break. Yeah.
Like we didn't do anything.
Yep.
I mean, at the end of the day, it was
breaks from
maybe it pushed us 3 weeks behind where we were, but that's fine because we tried doing it after like on a weekend where we had a big social card. I went to a wedding on a Saturday night and I spent the entire Sunday throwing up on the side of the house.
Yeah.
Because I absolutely slammed myself at that wedding. Yeah. And it wasn't good because nothing got done. I like painted one gutter and I just lied down.
You feel worse though because you're like, all the stuff I should have been able to do today and now I'm just adding to my list.
And now Caitlin's sitting here being like, well, I don't know how to use the nail gun.
Yeah.
I can't use I think she tried to use the nail gun to put like a fence paling on. She did it and the nail gun shot back out of her hand and she was like, I don't like this.
Yeah, I'm done.
I don't like this. This is dangerous. I'm like, well, no shit. Nearly reminds me of when I was like trying to use like the little like pin nail gun and I, for some reason, PPE, just use glasses, use earmuffs, all that kind of stuff. Because I literally shot it and it was the one time I wasn't wearing my glasses and I felt the nail go into the weatherboard, bounce off and like graze my eye or my cheek here. And I was like, I just reached down into my pocket and put my glasses on and I was like, why would you spend $30 to not put these on?
Oh, did I tell you when Brock got metal shaving in my eye?
Well, listen, that sounds like a great one to end the episode on. Let's go ahead. How did this happen?
So I can't even remember what we were doing.
Metal shaving, probably cutting metal, I'd say.
Oh, I don't know at what point of the reno.
Bit of a sentence.
Don't know at what point of the reno or how or when. But he got, and when I say I can't remember the scenario, but I know.
He aimed the metal at your eye, did he?
No, I know. I was like, no, can you stop doing that? Or there was some sort of like, no, stop doing that. Don't move that. And he did it anyway. And then I was like, I told you got it in my eye. And he was like, oh, get it. Just wash it out. He was wearing glasses, by the way. I was not, clearly. So anyway, got crap in my eye and I was like, I can't get it out. And he's like, it'll be fine. Anyway, this was hours and hours later and I was like, still my eye was like so red, itchy. And I was like, I feel like something's in there. And he's like, I've had stuff in my eyes a million times. Now we're sitting here and it's like 1 a.m. in the morning and I could not sleep. And I'm sitting here in this bed and I'm like, I can't get to sleep. Like it's there, it's in like my eye. It feels like a grain of sand in your eyeball. And I'm like, I can't. Anyway, I'm like, Brock, I can't. And he was like, I've had this a million times. All it is whatever was in your eye has scratched your eye. So then every time you blink, it's actually aggravating, like the cut on your eye, it's fine.
Stop blinking.
If you just go to sleep, you'll be fine in the morning.
Oh, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah, so I woke up, grain of sand in my eyeball. Ended up 2 days later, it was still there. Ended up going to the doctor and they removed the metal shaving from my eye.
Oh, everybody, we don't like to hear that one.
So wear your PPE. Thank you.
Damn, that's actually making me really like not okay right now.
Renovating. Love it.
Oh, I can't even focus right now. We'll come back. I'm closing my eyes. I can't even look at you. We'll come back for a part 3 in the future. It'll be the week after this one. What a surprise.
Yeah.
But from there, who knows where we go? We have, I don't know, it's like we're kind of on
we're in the limbo phase.
We're in limbo. We're on a sailboat and we don't know where we're going to sail to next.
Oh.
Probably back to the new farm apartment to finish off something we started. But at the same time, we're on track. Maybe not.
Yeah. Oh, well, actually, I've got some ideas. We'll do it off camera. It's fine.
Oh, my goodness.
But I've got some ideas.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for this one.
Lachie.
We've got one more to go, a couple of more banger questions.
We do.
And we'll see everybody. Did we not toodaloo at the end of the last episode?
No toodaloos were had. We're going to have to double toodaloo.
Do we want to toodaloo this and then do another one and then I can try and like cut it back in? But I'll keep this in so that the people are like, hang on, I thought there was something suspicious. Hold on. All right. So let's do, the first one can be for last week. Okay.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3.
Toodaloo.
This is the benefit of us wearing the same outfit for 2 episodes. Okay. Now, everybody, the real episode, I'm trying to figure out where we are, 46 fans. 46, coming up on 52. Episode 46 fans.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for listening, watching, viewing, consuming the content.
Thank you.
Mikaela, thank you very much. We just went and had dinner before this as well, so thank you very much for dinner.
Pleasure.
I'll leave you alone now. It's the end of a Friday night.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3.
Toodaloo.
Oh, I got to press the button. We've come to the end of another episode. If you have any questions, reach out to us on our Instagram @GrabTheTrace. Following, sharing, leaving a review or a rating is the best way to help the show. Our opening and closing music was created by Robert Hellberg. And whilst we try to help as much as possible, this podcast is of a general nature and won't be able to take into account your individual circumstance. If you need personalised advice, you should engage a relevant professional consultant to help make the best decisions for your situation. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.